Welcome back to another episode of Black Facts. Today, I have the honor of interviewing and speaking to Doula Dr. Angela Gordon-Nichols. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be on Black Facts. I'm so excited to speak with you this evening to talk about, or actually to help me understand and help our viewers understand, what is a doula?
Well, thank you for inviting me. I really hope that I'm able to spread some knowledge to people as they listen to my story and my explanations.
Yes, so please share with us, what is a doula?
Okay, so a doula is defined as a woman's helper. And so basically what we do is we help women and support them through their entire pregnancy journey. We provide them with education on pregnancy. We provide them with um, ways of getting through prenatal care, also labor and delivery, and then how to readjust to life during postpartum.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's really the basic to what we do.
Okay, my next question was going to be, what is the difference between a doula and a midwife then?
A midwife will, serve that purpose, but in addition, a midwife will also deliver the baby.
Okay.
Doulas don't deliver babies. We're not
Okay.
medically trained,
Okay.
but we do um, assist. We're sort of like a birth coach.
Okay.
So we're the cheerleaders for the
Okay.
moms to
Okay.
get them through it. And then we're like the backup team for the midwife. And then the midwife, she what she does is actually deliver the baby. And part of what we do is as we're being cheerleaders is the whole goal is to not have medical intervention.
Okay.
So I my specialty is pain management,
Okay.
and so I teach moms ways of handling pain without having to go through feel because some women they once they reach a certain level of pain they're like where's the pain medication, and then I was like do you really want that? So I make them, I try to push them through.
Okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate you explaining the difference because I actually thought a doula and a midwife were the same things. I did not realize that doulas don't deliver babies and that you
Right.
can still be there. You can still have both, right? So you can have a midwife and a doula.
Yes.
Okay. And explain to me some of the things that you do, like real life examples of how you actually support mothers through their birthing process. And you mentioned you specialize in pain, helping them manage their pain. What does that really look like? Because I know, when I've had a child and, you know, yeah, when you're in pain, kind of don't want to talk to anybody. So what what tools do you use to, kind of calm mothers down or allow them to be able to, kind of center themselves and calm down?
Yeah, so what there's a lot of things that we practice in advance, and one is we practice a breathing method. I use coherent breathing
Okay.
style, which is sort of like a breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And so they develop a method of breathing through the pain.
Okay.
So they will may inhale in between contractions, and as the contraction begins, they start exhaling so that they're focusing on the exhale and not on the pain. In addition to that, I use visual prompts, or like I'll have them think of something that makes them happy to keep them in a happy place. Also, a lot of moms, I encourage them to use affirmations we post around the room so that when they're feeling like, oh, I just can't do this anymore, then they can read that affirmation, and that affirmation is going to let them encourage them to keep going forward. Um, I usually set the atmosphere in the room with candles, low lighting, with music of their choice.
Okay.
That's something that keeps them comfortable. And so it's usually a combination of all of that.
Okay. And
That
these are things that you guys discuss and kind of go over beforehand? Like, do you actually
Yes.
practice, or you just kind of decide, oh, I want to listen to this type of music, or
So what we do is together we create what's called a birth plan.
okay,
And in the birth plan, what we do is we decide what the entire birth experience should look like for this mom. The mom has already thought about what she wants her birth to look like.
hmm
And so we document it in a birth plan. So that includes the environment, that includes any parent, any medical intervention, whether she wants it, whether she doesn't want it, whether she might be thinking about it. Sometimes I have one line in my birth plan that says, "Please don't ask me about interventions. If I'm ready for them, I'll ask you."
okay,
It also includes a lot of the moms now are keeping their placentas. So we talk about how what's going to happen with that, because sometimes with women, they think, oh, that's a great idea. I'll keep my placenta and take it home with me. But they don't realize you need to do something with it once you keep it. And so we start working on that. You can have it dried and turned into pills, which are very good for helping the moms to build up their strength again after birth. And just other things as they come up. We're also advocates for the mom. We're
okay,
advocates for the mom, but we don't speak for the mom.
okay,
So in the hospital room, when the doctor comes in and they start suggesting certain things, then like C sections or epidurals and so on, we ask for time. I have the mom ask for time for us to discuss whatever the situation is
okay,
without the medical team in the room,
okay,
and then we discuss the pros and cons. But the final decision on what happens is based on the mom. And if the dad is there, we include him, because I'm really treating them as one when the dad's involved. So
mhm.
I support the dad as well as the mom, because some dads get in there, they get a little nervous. And so I try to keep them comforted also, and be
Do you
part
have
of
to
the
give them
process.
some breathing techniques?
Yes, no, really, I do, because some fathers really get upset when they see their partner in all that pain, and there is nothing they can do. There is nothing they can do. And so they can kind of feel helpless. So some of the exercises, like when they're going through labor, you can give moms could you can apply like heat packs or something like that, or a nice massage. Well, instead of me trying to do it, I allow the dad to do it, and I just kind of walk him through it so he feels like he's part of the process.
Okay.
And then there's a based on what kind of birth is happening, we can do different massages. When they're in the hospital, sometimes we're kind of restricted on what we can do. But if it's a home birth, you can do a whole lot more to help mom get through the labor and delivery part.
Okay, I was going to ask you that too. So doulas can be in the hospital. I was just thinking of like doulas at home or in a birthing center, but you can actually be in the hospital.
Yes, you can
Okay.
be in the hospitals. COVID has made it a little more difficult
Okay.
because the hospitals who really don't quite understand what doulas are there for. They have created a situation where mothers had to make decisions on whether they should have their partner there or their doula there.
Right.
And so the more information that the hospitals are starting to get and really understand what the purpose is for a doula, they're starting to relax those rules a little bit. And so, but yeah, so during the first part of the shutdown, a lot of hospitals only would allow one person.
Right.
And so that one person would have to be the partner. So I was still a doula, but I was doing it virtually, which is not quite the same
Okay.
when you're on the phone, but it's better than nothing because they can hear my voice
Okay.
and I can keep them calm with my voice.
Okay. Well, you've said a lot, but specifically tell me and tell our viewers, What is the benefits of having a doula to help you through your childbirth experience?
It reduces the risk of the bottom line is it reduces the risk of medical intervention.
Okay.
And because the chances of having emergency surgery because of high blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
is reduced because I keep them in a calm state. I'm constantly when I'm in the hospital, especially I'm monitoring the blood pressure monitor, and to constantly encourage mom. You got to relax. Let's do some things to some visuals or something to keep your blood pressure down because that can be one reason that takes them into emergency C-section. Um, Another benefit is doing our prenatal. There are things that we would talk about monitoring to prevent preeclampsia, which is
Mm-hmm.
part of the results of the high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
If they are having, I have a client right now who has gestational diabetes, and so our conversations are about, you know, lifestyle,
Right.
your diet. What are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that you have a good delivery?
Okay.
And I've had, and the other thing is we empower the mothers to ask the right questions of their medical team. Like, just don't just show up at the doctor's office and just everything the doctor says, you just take it at face value. Ask a few questions. I actually give them a list of questions to take with them when they go to the doctor.
Okay.
And if a doctor wants to, some doctors they have like cutoff dates. Like the minute your due date is you're past your due date, all of a sudden they want to, you know, put you in the hospital and induce labor.
Mm-hmm.
You have, it's the mom that can say, is this medically necessary?
Okay.
Not just, what is going to be the worst that can happen if we wait, say, another week?
Right.
So,
You empower them to be able to ask, poignant key questions to ensure, like you
right,
said, that no unnecessary medical intervention has to happen.
yes, yes.
Okay. Now, can you go, will you go if, say, for some reason the mother does have to, the birth plan is switched and they have to have an emergency C-section? Are you able to go in that space? Let's just remove COVID. Have you been able to go in that space to kind of, once again, keep the mom calm? Because that's a very, stressful situation if you automatically have, you have to go to emergency surgery.
So that would be up to the hospital and the doctors
Okay.
whether they would allow me in that space because they have to follow their guidelines, their liability, and so on. But if they will allow me, I will go in. Sometimes in that particular space, because it depends on the size of the room that they're working in. They need to make sure that there's space for their team. But the father may be allowed to go in there. So the question would be: is will they allow me in there in addition to the father? And it's on a case by case basis.
Okay. Well, do you know if I heard, well, I'll say this. I heard that health insurance is now pay for doulas. Is that true?
It is true. All insurance companies are not on board yet, but there are more that are getting on board, and including Medi-Cal. So Medi-Cal
Okay.
was supposed to go into effect the first part of the year, and then it was extended to July. Now we're being told the first of 2023 that women will be able to pay for their doulas with Medi-Cal. But in the meantime, there are services being made available to women to get free services. So I myself are contracted with IEHP and
Mhm.
Molina,
Okay.
and those are through a program that's overseen by a Riverside Community Health Foundation
Oh,
called the
okay.
DAP program.
Mhm.
And so if a woman has IEHP or Molina, they can get free services through there. In addition to that, I'm also contracted with two county programs that do not require that you have. a certain financial status, you just need it's just for Black women, because
Okay.
Black women are have the highest rate of mortality.
Yes.
Maternal
Mhm.
mortality is three
Mhm.
times more than anyone in the United States right now.
Okay.
So Riverside County and San Bernardino County have provided monies for that through Sankofa Birth Workers Collective. I'm sorry.
Thank you for sharing that because, I know back in the day that, yeah, doulas weren't, you couldn't get it through your health insurance. So it's so nice to know that there is a response to so many Black women unfortunately losing their lives, through
Yes,
childbirth, that now they're putting in protective measures and allowing, doulas and other things to happen so that to ensure our safety, right? During
yes.
pregnancy and during childbirth.
So there are more. Everyone's jumping on board now. It's taken a while, but they're jumping on board now.
Now you've already kind of led into my last question, but can you please really explain to us very clearly why it's beneficial for Black women to consider having or benefiting from having a doula?
A couple of reasons. Two in particular. One is because we do have the highest maternal mortality rate, and a lot of women, a lot of Black women, we tend to always want to be strong, invincible, and we have a really hard time receiving help on a more personal level. What women don't realize, doula is more than just helping you have a baby, but doulas can also help you, like you're having a problem getting your house in order, getting things organized. We're there to help you with that. Um, some doulas will cook meals for you during postpartum. It's important. Everyone still has to eat, especially if you have family. And things like laundry, like I love to do laundry. I don't know. I have this issue with
Mm.
that. I love to do it. I will wash it, fold it, and put it up for you. So, but it's just something like that when you're going through postpartum and it's in the back of your head,
Mm.
that can create issues. So, um, and all those things can lead to things like postpartum depression,
Mhm.
and which is another one of my specialties is postpartum perinatal mental health.
Okay.
And so by having a doula, the chances and the risk of going into postpartum depression are less, because you have someone that's not going to be judgmental
Okay.
and is there to help you. All you have to do is ask. The other part to that is the advocacy part that I spoke of,
Mhm.
because you still have systemic racism. And because there is systemic racism, sometimes doctors really don't hear us when we're talking to them.
Mhm.
And so by having a doula, because I will even attend the doctor's appointments with the mom.
Okay.
So by having someone there to like back you up and have your back, again, that's not going to be judgmental. And whatever the question is, there is no question that's too small when it comes to your health.
Mhm.
And so you need to make sure that the moms need to make sure that the doctors are hearing them with their concerns. And by having a doula, they are that opportunity becomes a stronger option. And many mothers have told me that they were happy that I was here just for that reason, if no other reason,
Mhm.
because they felt like they could really operate on their own and be in their own truth more when with me being there, because then they felt like they could ask what they need to ask and
Right.
not be criticized because of it.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us? I've learned a lot. I've learned that there's a difference between a doula and a midwife. I've learned that you are really a strong advocate in all spaces, not only during the childbirth experience, but prior to, when you're just pregnant and needing somebody to go to medical appointments with you. I know that that's huge because a lot of things happen and women are very stressed out a lot oftentimes because, like you said, Black women, they don't necessarily hear us when we're not pregnant and we come and we
Mhm.
say that we have an issue. So it's even more challenging when you're in that vulnerable space and you are pregnant and you're asking questions and they're just kind of telling you, no, this is what we're going to
Mhm.
do. And it can be very, very scary. So it's nice to know that doulas provide that level of support. And then also postpartum. Once again, I didn't realize that is on the continuum. So postpartum assistance and, I'm not pregnant, not planning on getting pregnant, but you can come over and you can wash, fold, and my clothes any day.
We just figure out in chat. I'm a great
No, but
listener,
really,
believe me.
no, but really, I really appreciate you kind of explaining things to us and help us appreciate the benefits of the resource that doulas bring. Because I know when I first heard of a doula, and this was many years ago, you kind of, it's like, woo, like I didn't
Mhm.
really understand what it just kind of seemed mystical and, kind of
Yes.
weird. I'll just say that.
No,
But,
you're right.
I appreciate and I'm hoping that somebody else that is listening, has a better understanding and now a better appreciation for the value of, what you bring as a doula. So thank you. Thank you,
You're
Doc.
welcome. And I guess the one thing I would like to emphasize a little bit more before I leave is the postpartum,
Okay.
because a lot of women do not realize the importance of getting your body in shape right after you have a baby. Maternal mortality
Hmm.
is based on women who die after birth,
Okay.
after they've had the baby and gone home,
Okay.
because we tend to stop paying attention to our body and what it's
Hmm.
doing because we are the baby's no longer in there.
Hmm.
And so we're now focusing on being a caregiver and forgetting to be take care of self.
Okay.
So use your doulas, whoever gets a postpartum doula, use that doula to allow time to do things for yourself if it's no more than a mental break. And then also pay attention to your, like your flow as as you are getting rid of all the excess fluids and so on. Pay attention to what's going on with your body, because even then, if something's not going right, you need to call your doctor. And so that's just, that's probably the hardest part of being a doula is once women have the babies, they're thinking, oh, I don't need you anymore. But it's still just as important.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I've learned so much. I really have. There are so many things I did not know that a doula did. And now I have, once again, a better appreciation for the resources that doulas provide and just the support. The support. We all need support, especially when we're bringing a life into this world. We all
Yeah.
need support. And
Yeah.
it's nice to know that, you all are out there, you're available, and
Yeah.
especially if you don't have, family or a partner, it's nice to know that now insurances are allowing so you can still have somebody there with you, right, to support you through this monumental experience in your life.
Thank you. And once again, thank you so much. I so appreciate this opportunity. And I look forward to having further conversation with you on other subjects.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing with our Black Facts viewers what a doula is and kind of demystifying, what a doula is and the benefits of having a doula. I really appreciate you
You're welcome.
doing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Black Facts. I really appreciate your support. Be sure to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the latest Black Facts episodes. Also, make sure to take some time for self-care and take care of your health. And join me on the next episode so we can know the facts.